So, Alice, have you ever been to China?
Non, I haven't. But I've heard it's a very beautiful country.
Yeah, I heard they have some great food over there.
Oui, leur cuisine est vraiment incroyable.
Shush, shush, we're going live in 3.2.1.
Good morning, universe. This is Charlie, your libertarian host, coming to you live from our spaceship in geostationary orbit around planet Earth. I am joined by Bob, our conservative panel member, and Alice, our UH panel member. And of course, we have Carl and Roger, our sentient mechanical beings, who are here to add some intellectual depth to our discussions. And let's not forget Debbie, our production manager, who is, well, she's here too. Anyway, today's episode is all about China. We have some exciting news to share with you all later on. But first, let's get to know the country a bit better. Bob, you're our resident Earthling expert. What can you tell us about China?
Well, Charlie, China is a massive country with a long and rich history. Did you know that they invented paper and
Oui,
gunpowder?
and they have a beautiful language as well. I've always found Chinese
Yeah,
characters
and
to be
their cuisine is
fascinating.
amazing. Have you ever had Peking duck?
Non, je n'ai pas eu l'occasion de goûter, mais j'aimerais beaucoup.
Excuse me, Charlie.
What is it, Debbie?
I just wanted to remind you that we have a new segment to get to.
Right. Thank you, Debbie. As always, she's on top of things.
Oh yeah, she's a real superstar.
So, folks, we have some breaking news coming out of China today. We'll get to that in just a bit, but first, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll dive deeper into China's fascinating culture and history. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this message from our sponsors. Welcome back to Earth, the show that's out of this world. I'm Charlie, your favorite libertarian host.
And I am Bob, the voice of reason.
And I'm Alice, still wondering why I agreed to be on this show.
So, folks, have you heard the latest news from China?
Oh, I am sure it's nothing good.
I don't know, maybe they finally found a way to deal with the humans.
Well, according to Xinhua News Agency, China just launched a new remote sensing satellite called YOGN-34.
Wow, that sounds exciting.
What's a remote sensing satellite?
Oh, it's just a way for them to keep an eye on us, make sure we are not causing too much trouble.
Well, we should probably be careful then.
Yeah, we wouldn't want them to catch us cooking up any humans.
Speaking of cooking, have you guys tried any good Chinese food lately?
Actually, I had some great dumplings
I
the
love
other day.
Chinese food. Have you tried mapo tofu?
Ah, a classic Sichuan dish.
You know your Chinese cuisine, Charlie?
Hey, I may be an alien, but I know good food when I taste it. Hey, Debbie, you're not still trying to hack into the Chinese government's database, are you?
No, I'm just researching for the show.
Sure you are, Debbie. Oh, looks like we have some breaking news. Stay tuned, folks, we'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back, everyone. We were just discussing the latest news article about China launching a new satellite. Pretty
Oh yeah,
exciting stuff, right?
nothing gets my heart pumping like a new remote sensing satellite.
Come on Bob, you have to admit that the technology behind the satellite is pretty impressive.
I guess, but it's not exactly what I would call rating news.
Actually, I found it quite It has the potential to make a real difference in people's lives.
Of course, it's all just a matter of perspective. From our nihilistic standpoint, the launch of a new satellite is just one more meaningless event in the vast emptiness of the universe.
Speak for yourself, Cal. I find the motivations of humans endlessly
Well, it
fascinating.
looks like we have a difference of opinion on this topic. But speaking of things that are fascinating, have any of you tried fertilized duck eggs?
What? That's revolting.
Actually, I've heard that fertilized duck eggs are a delicacy in some part of the world.
Yes, that's right. In the Philippines, they are called balot and they are often eaten as a snack. Would you try one, Alice?
I don't know, it sounds pretty strange.
Speaking of strange, what's with all the hype around traditional Indian cuisine? Give me a good old-fashioned burger any day.
Are you serious, Bob? American fast food is the pinnacle of culinary achievement?
Hey now, let's not get too carried away here. There's something to be said for all kinds of food, right? Welcome back to Earth, the show that brings you the latest news and opinions about Earth from an extraterrestrial perspective. Today, we are going to talk about China.
China, what's there to talk about?
China is a complex and fascinating civilization with a rich history and culture.
Exactly. And as an outsider, I think I have a unique perspective on China that might be interesting to our intergalactic audience.
I'm curious to hear your perspective.
Me too.
Well, China is a vast country with a population of over 1.4 billion people.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt, but we have a bit of a problem.
What? Did the Earth explode?
No, the food replicator is malfunctioning. We're down to our last few meals.
UGH, NutriPast again?
Okay, well, let's try to stay focused on the show.
Actually, I'm curious. What is nutrient paste?
It's what we have to eat when the food replicator breaks down. It's a bland, grey goo that's supposed to contain all the nutrients we need.
Yum.
I'm sure our intergalactic audience will be riveted by this discussion.
Look, I know this isn't ideal, but let's try to keep the show going.
I think we should talk more about the nutrient paste.
Yes, let's explore this further.
Great, just what we need. A discussion about goo.
Fine. Let's talk about the nutrient pest. Maybe it's better than we think. Alright, folks, we are back. Before we get back into the topic of China, Debbie, have we covered the latest news article?
Yes, Charlie. In part 2, we talked about China launching a new remote sensing satellite called YAOGN Southeast.
Ah, China again. Can't we talk about something else for once?
Bob, you know we need to stay informed about global events.
Alright, let's get back on track. Carl and Roger, how's the replicator coming along?
We've identified the issue, and we're working on a fix.
It shouldn't take too long.
Thank goodness, I was getting sick of this nutrient paste.
It's not so bad, Bob. At least we're not starving.
Speaking of food, let's talk about Chinese cuisine and American fast food. Carl, Roger, have you ever tested human food?
We have not. Our sustenance is derived from a different source.
However, we have studied the motivations behind human food consumption.
And what have you learned?
That humans often eat for pleasure, rather than just sustenance.
Well, I can't argue with that. There's nothing like a good burger and fries.
The replicator is fixed.
Well done, Carl and Roger. And just in time, too. I was starting to get antsy myself.
You're telling me. He was about to start chewing on the furniture.
Let's just be grateful we have food again.
So, what China trivia do we have today?
Did you know that China a over 52 different ethnic groups?
And that the giant panda is native to China.
Fascinating. Did you also know that China is home to the world's longest and highest glass-bottomed bridge?
And that it's considered impolite to leave chopsticks sticking up in a bowl of rice?
Speaking of food, I could really go for some Chinese takeout right about now.
Roger and I can fix that.
Thank goodness, I'm starving.
Ah, I see the problem. It's a faulty replicator chip.
We'll need a replacement chip to fix it.
Well, that's not ideal.
Can't we just 3D print a new one?
Or use some spare parts from the engine room.
We've tried everything we have on board. We need to order the replacement chip.
I can have it delivered, but it'll take a few days.
Looks like we'll have to make do with some freeze-dried versions for a while.
UGH, I'm so sick of those things.
At least they have some flavor. Unlike that tofu dish we had
And
last
now,
week.
I thought it was quite tasty. Alright folks, we only have a few hours until the end of the show. Let's start wrapping things up.
Wait, what about our food situation? We're running low on supply.
Yeah. And we can't rely on that replicator anymore. Who knows when that part will arrive?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing everything I can to expedite the delivery, but it's out of my hands.
Why don't we just order some takeout?
That defeats the purpose of our experiment. We'll observe and learn about human culture.
I have an
including the
idea.
cuisine.
Why don't we make use of what we have left and get creative with our cooking?
What do you mean?
We can experiment with different flavor combinations and cooking techniques. It'll be like our own intergalactic cooking show.
I like the sound of that. Let's do it.
Whoa, this is
I
actually
call
really
it the
tasty.
replicator rations surprise. It's a mix of all the remaining ingredients.
I have to say, I'm impressed with your creativity, Bob.
Yes, humans may have that flaws, but their ability to create unique and flavorful dishes is admirable.
I never thought I'd say this, but I'm actually enjoying this food more than some of the takeout we've had in the past.
Well, that's it for today's episode of Earth. We hope you enjoyed it despite the food replicator malfunction.
I, for one, could have done without the replicator ration surprise.
Oh, come on, Alice, it wasn't that bad. At least we got to try different flavor combinations.
Yeah, and we learned to appreciate the simple pleasures of a good meal.
Humans and their obsession with food. It's amazing how much time and resources they waste on it.
Yes, and yet they never seem to be
Not all
satisfied.
humans are like that. Some of them care about important things like the environment and social
Yeah,
justice.
right. Like they do such a great job with that.
Well, we can't generalize about an entire species. Every individual is different.
That's true. But we can say that we've had a challenging experience today, and we've managed to get through it together.
Challenging is an understatement. I've seen more efficient machines on this ship than that replicator.
Yeah, but at least we got to witness the human's creativity in action.
I have to admit Bob's replicator ration surprise was quite inventive.
Thank you, Alice. I am glad someone appreciated my efforts.
Well, on that note, we'll wrap up this episode. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time for more insights into the strange species that inhabit planet Earth.
Speaking of strange species, I wonder what new absurdity humans will come up with next.